the second International Yoga Day, politicians from several opposition parties in India chose to perhaps put a strong defiance against celebrations that were witnessed across the country. Contrary to what happened last year, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal skipped the yoga celebrations in Delhi. The trend was followed by almost all political parties, the opposition parties across the country.
The world got together to celebrate International Yoga Day in all its glory. But back home, politics managed to trump celebrations of India's ancient exercise. While Prime Minister Modi lined up 10 of his top ministers in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh, the opposition retorted by not attending any of the Yoga Day events.
माया मुलायम को कौन सा योग करने की सलाह दे रही हैं?
माया मुलायम यदि योग कर रहे होते तो इतनी बुद्धि भ्रष्ट नहीं होती.
The story wasn't very different in Bihar either, where yoga sessions at the historic Gandhi Maidan went largely unattended.
Unfortunately, none of the Bihar ministers have bothered to come here. We can show you here in this chair that the Tejasvi Yadav has not come. Ashok Chaudhary, the education minister, he has not come. Tej Pratap Yadav, the health minister, he has also not bothered to come here. In fact, JDU also was invited here. Several spokespersons of JDU, they have also not come here.
I don't want to make any political comment today except to say yoga unites, does not divide. And yoga is beyond political and ideological divide. I would have been the happiest if the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, would have been here doing yoga with me.
Opposition leaders across the board gave the event a miss. The question remains, could politics not have taken a back seat for an event that's now become a global symbol for India? Bureau Report, India Today.
Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress Party joins me on the broadcast. Nikhil Mandal is the spokesperson of JDU. He joins us from Bihar. Sambit Patra represents the BJP and Acharya Pratishtha represents Yog. Welcome. I want to start with Nikhil Mandal of the JDU. Mr. Mandal, when we saw the visitors gallery or the guests gallery in Patna, Bihar ministers skipped the event. Tejasvi Yadav not there. Education Minister Ashok Chaudhary not there. Health Minister Tej Pratap Yadav not there. So, are we cutting our nose to spite our face, or we have something against yoga, or we have something against the BJP government, and because they were a part of the yoga celebrations, that is why you stayed away?
Good evening to all of you. First of all, let me clear, we are not against yoga.
Okay.
We are not against yoga. We are not against yoga lovers, yoga followers, yoga practitioners. Our agenda is little bit different. If Prime Minister Modi ji is so much concerned about health and yoga, our question is, why not he... Hello?
Yes, go on.
Why not he forget for a once and come along with CM Nitish Kumar on an agenda to ban liquor across the country, across the India. Yoga is a...
Okay.
Hello? Yes.
Okay, so you are saying that
Actually,
Nitish Kumar will not do yoga or not participate in a yoga event as long as liquor is not banned across the country?
No. We used to do yoga, but our question is different. That if Modi ji is so much serious about yoga or health issues, why don't he come along with Nitish Kumar on subject of banning liquor across the country?
Okay. Acharya Pratishtha, are the two linked? Ban liquor or you can't do yoga?
See, Gaurav ji, I strongly feel that yoga, the word itself means to unite. So anyway, why are we dividing ourselves at the name of yoga? And yoga is an ancient science which is above all religions, above all parties. And I think if everybody will start following yoga as a lifestyle, they will be able to leave the liquor as well. That is a part of yogic lifestyle.
Okay, so start yoga, you may be able to leave liquor, says Acharya Pratishtha. But Priyanka, you do yoga yourself, you practice yoga yourself. but not today. But if we were to talk about your party in Puducherry, the chief minister stayed away, the cabinet minister stayed away from a function that was held. Was it because it was held by Kiran Bedi, the lieutenant governor of this of Puducherry, ma'am?
No. Okay, a couple of things I'd like to make very clear. Firstly, Mr. Narendra Modi is not yoga. Bharatiya Janata Party is not yoga. We are all followers of yoga. We all practice yoga, but not as per the diktats of Mr. Modi or the Bharatiya Janata Party. They are nobody to certify us whether we are followers, we believe in it, or we believe in the rich cultural heritage of this country. Having said that, now let me also tell you something. The governor of a state it's not her prerogative to decide on an issue like this or an event like this. It is the chief minister's prerogative. So the chief minister can take a call on something like this. I'm very surprised. I'm very certain that you all only went through the PMO India handle to know which state celebrated Yoga Day, which did not. Because PMO India handle did not tweet about Karnataka celebrating International Yoga Day today.
You know,
PMO
we have reporters on ground. We have reporters on ground.
Celebrating Yoga Day today. No, I know you might have.
You know,
but somehow,
wait,
it's not
so
being
let's
reported.
talk about Puducherry first.
Please,
I
allow
will come
me
to
to complete.
Karnataka.
Allow me to complete.
Let's talk about Puducherry. I will come to Karnataka.
I will talk about all the states. So I've already told you. I told you Puducherry. I will tell you about Puducherry. Now tell me something. In the center, you have President of India. Rashtrapati Bhavan also organized a big event on International Yoga Day. Did all the Prime Ministers and his council attend that yoga event, or did organize their own events? So doesn't that become the Prime Minister's prerogative as to where he wishes to be and which event he wants to be a part of? So let's not club issues here. It becomes the Chief Minister's prerogative what he wishes to celebrate, what he doesn't wish to celebrate. And let's not send diktats across just because you wish to associate everything, even yoga is now being associated to Mr. Modi, which is unfortunate. If we have
so,
anything
Sambit
to say
Patra,
against how Mr. Modi has
did
made
the
it a
BJP
PR
send out a
gimmick, does not mean
diktat to
we are
celebrate
attacking
International Yoga Day? Sambit Patra?
I didn't get a question in the din. Can you please repeat the question?
You know, Priyanka Chaturvedi said will not accept a diktat that is sent out by the Prime Minister or the government. So did the government or did the Prime Minister send out a diktat to celebrate the International Yoga Day?
Gaurav, you know the answer to this?
No, because you know, it almost appears that the Prime Minister or the BJP is trying to usurp yoga and make it into a BJP event and not a national event. That's the complaint.
I'll answer that. Let me begin by saying that frustration beyond a point becomes self-evident, and to that effect it doesn't even deserve a debate or a kind of answer. But still, since we are debating, let me put this point. What did Mr. Modi do as far as yoga is concerned? After becoming the Prime Minister, he attended the UN session. In the UN session, he rightfully mentioned that yoga is one of the great achievements of the forefathers of India, is one of the great heritage of India, and that the world should take up to yoga so that we have better well-being, we have better health avenues. What was wrong in that? The world heard Mr. Modi's speech. The world decided that, well, yes, if India brings about a resolution, we would think about it. India brought a resolution to that effect, that let's have 21st June, the longest day in this year, as the Yoga Day.
No, but Sambit Patra, when the government fails to convince the opposition, where will it convince the world? Why is it? I mean, you know, if you're reaching out to 177 countries across the world, why not to the opposition within our own country?
See, I told you, Gaurav, that those who are frustrated beyond a point can never be convinced. People of the world, people of this country are convinced. That is self-evident, Mr. Gaurav. If you would put out the pictures of United Nations headquarters, you would see that the whole headquarter is in fact decorated with the various postures of yoga. Across the world, Geneva is celebrating, most of the countries are celebrating, 47 Muslim countries are celebrating. In country also, and our own country, thousands of places, crores of people are celebrating the Yoga Day celebration. So what's the problem? If JDU or the Congress does not understand the importance of yoga, so be it. We have made it non-compulsory event. It's not a compulsory event. They can stay back in home. They cannot celebrate yoga if they wish not to celebrate it. But the people of this country understand the importance of yoga, and we can see a sense of enthusiasm across the length and breadth of this country. That is what is required by this government.
Priyanka Chaturvedi, is this people? Okay, you heard Sambit Patra. So is this the Congress's frustration that the Congress chose to stay away? Because in Karnataka it did not. Sambit Patra in Karnataka it did not. Priyanka, go on.
No, I do not understand how can you equate every state CM's decision to what Congress party stance is. Congress is very clear, we are not against yoga. Anything against Mr. Modi does not become anti. Let me also ask you, Mr. Sawant, you had a lot of fanfare, a separate ministry was created, Ministry of Ayush was created. 1,070 crore was allocated to it last year, which was to promote yoga and to talk about all non-allopathic ways of promoting Indian medicines. They have left underutilized budget of more than 50%. So when you talk about promoting yoga, I would want to understand from the government of the day, what have they in true terms done to ensure that yoga reaches home to home, every single place? It creates employment, it creates jobs for people who want to teach yoga or take yoga as a profession. My second question here is, celebrating it one day of the year and making a big thing out of it does not mean that you're promoting the culture of yoga. And having said that, talking about frustration of Congress, right from Jawaharlal Nehru to our current Prime Minister, we were all followers of yoga. So we do not need a certificate coming from a Bharatiya Janata Party, whether we are frustrated or their spokesperson coming and talking about someone else's frustration.
That's a very pertinent point. That's a pertinent point
to celebrate
that
yoga.
Priyanka Chaturvedi
It is
raises.
our heritage, it
Ayush
is a shared
Ministry
culture,
funds
which no one
not
can
spent.
usurp.
Sambit Patra. It's just a spectacle. In fact, the JDU goes a step ahead. The JDU is saying that this is just very clever marketing and politicization of yoga by the BJP, Sambit Patra. So 2 points you to answer.
If my question, Mr. Gaurav, is, one of the most important heritage of India, that is yoga, need no marketing in the global arena to say that, well, this is our heritage and we want the world to celebrate yoga? Is there anything wrong if the Prime Minister of the country goes and pronounces the same on the dais of United Nations? I'm astonished that none of the previous Prime Ministers, including Pandit Nehru, whom the Congress thinks is the Patanjali and probably gave birth to yoga, never made such kind of effort in the past. Here is a Prime Minister who successfully made an effort, and that transpired into something which we are seeing as a magnanimous celebration across the globe. And why should I be testifying that? It is something which you all are witnessing. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, did we ever discuss a yoga day? Did we ever have a debate, a single debate about yoga?
And in Sanskrit, it is called Pratyaksham Kim Pramanam. When we have the witness, we don't need to...
something so important.
Okay. The popularity of yoga is rising worldwide. That seems to be the trend, or that seems to be the indication. But within our own country, many are not participating. Now, Mr. Mandal, as far as the RJD and the JDU are concerned, are you not participating in these events only because the BJP government appears to be spearheading it? Is that your only opposition? And will you not participate as long as there opposition, as long as there's no forward movement on liquor ban nationwide?
No, I have one question for Sambit Patra. If BJP and PM Modi ji is so much concerned and serious about health issue, then why he has slashed down health budget by 17%?
Who said we have slashed down the health budget by 17%? And secondly, we are discussing about the Yoga Day celebration as to why you are absconding. We are not discussing about the budget.
Is a part
Let me
of
ask
health.
one question to you. Just a second, sir. Since you asked me a question, even I have a right to ask you a question. Mr. Nitish Kumar yesterday said that there is no point of celebrating Yoga Day.
I want to hear answer.
Just a second, sir. Just a second.
Okay, sure.
Mr. Nitish Kumar said yesterday that there is no point in celebrating Yoga Day until unless there is a blanket ban on alcohol sale across the length and breadth of the country. And then you and Nitish Kumar themselves maintain that they have been, Mr. Kumar himself has been into yoga since long. My question is, how was Mr. Nitish Kumar practicing yoga? Because in the yesteryears in Bihar, alcohol was not banned. Alcohol got banned in Bihar only about 3 or 4 months ago. Before that, if Mr. Nitish Kumar was practicing yoga in Bihar, why was he doing so? Because according to he himself, yoga cannot be done in a place where alcohol has not been banned. So these are all
Nikhil
mere
Mandal,
hollow
is it
rhetoric
only opposition
by
to
nothing.
Narendra Modi that your leaders stayed away from the yoga event?
Hello.
Yes. Mr. Mandal, is it only to oppose Narendra Modi? Is it only because the Prime Minister was spearheading a yoga movement or is seen as someone who's spearheading a yoga movement that Nitish Kumar's ministers stayed away?
No, I have already cleared it. We don't disrespect yoga practitioners, yoga followers, yoga lovers. I have already cleared it. But दो लाइन में हिंदी में बोलना चाहूंगा कि रामदेव जी खाली पेट योगा करा रहे हैं, मोदी जी बिना पैसे के अकाउंट खुलवा रहे हैं. प्रॉब्लम इज हियर कि many other serious issues is gone. Nobody is talking about
this. You have no problem with Ishrat Jahan, you have problem with Ramdev and Modi. No problem with Ishrat Jahan.
नहीं, लेकिन ये डिबेट अब कहाँ जा रही है? आचार्य प्रतिष्ठा, here we are talking about making yoga more popular, but is this, as somebody who practices yoga, does this politics over yoga? When you see what's happening internationally, whether it's in New York, you have 135 ambassadors from 135 countries who come and practice yoga. Over 10,000 people practice it in various other places, whether it's in Beijing or in Chile or in Shanghai. But in our own country, we see politics. As a yoga guru, what goes through your mind?
देखिए गौरव जी, the most important thing is when we say that we are relating yoga to our honorable Prime Minister. Yes, we are relating because he is the one who took this initiative of International Yoga Day. Second thing, this is not a national event, it is an international event, and not in India only. Like, we have got a Japanese delegation who have come here to see how we celebrate International Yoga Day in India. So I think these things should be seen above any political conflict, above any religious conflict, because yoga is something, as I always say, it is something which India has given to the entire world. And today, when world is actually recognizing India as a country of yoga, so we all should be happy with that, rather than I mean, it is a good day. We should celebrate it all together.
You agree with that, Priyanka?
No, who is not celebrating yoga? Who is not celebrating our country's rich heritage? Who is not celebrating our country's culture? I have a definite issue with making it a PR gimmick and not in actual terms do anything about it. I've already mentioned how the budgets are going underutilized, not utilized. And yes, someone mentioned Patanjali here. I'm glad Patanjali was mentioned, because Patanjali seems to be playing a lot on BJP's mind these days, because any free land available to the Bharatiya Janata Party is being handed over to Patanjali. So one person benefiting out of it and the rest not getting the benefits of the budget allocated to a Ministry of Ayush is something that bothers me. So when we talk about India's rich culture, rich heritage, let it be all encompassing and let it not be usurped by a political party just because someone went and made a speech in the UN and it got declared as the International Yoga Day. You cannot take away the importance of yoga, you cannot take away the shared history, our shared culture and our shared rich heritage.
Okay, so clearly here we see a lot of division, not perhaps as much as on the issue of yoga, but politics around yoga. I would like to thank all of you for joining me on this part of our debate, but I want to take you across. I want to take you to the celebrations that were witnessed across the world today as people from more than 135 countries came together, and that was just in New York, but people came together to celebrate yoga. It was bigger and better than last year. Now 50 crore practitioners from more than 177 countries rolled out the mats and participated in the mega event. If we were to talk about New York, there were celebrations in New York from China to South Korea to Hungary to Australia, United States, Britain. Let's take a look at what's been happening with yoga. And for the moment, I also want to quickly cut across to Rahul Chhabra, India's ambassador to Hungary. He joins us on the broadcast. Ambassador, welcome on the show. What were the highlights of the Yoga's festival in Hungary? Because we hear there was a Ganga-Danube celebration together. Water from the holy river Ganga and water from the Danube. Take us through details, Ambassador.
Thank you so much for having me today. It's really been a great weekend here in Hungary. We had celebrations in 10 cities across in all directions from Budapest, which is right at the center. So we start with the Budapest Central Jail, We had some celebrations there, and it went on to the prettiest city in Hungary called Szent Andre, where our Minister of Culture, Civilization and Tourism, Dr. Mahesh Sharma, was there with the mayor. And amidst the chanting of Sanskrit shlokas, we had the mixing of the Danube and the Ganga waters, which were then subsequently immersed in the Danube. So this is just a part. The rest, of course, was over 50 artists came in from India, flown in, including Padma Shri Shobna Narayanji. And we had over 60 artists from Hungary who are proficient in Indian cultural traditions. So this over 110 artists performed after the yoga celebrations in the morning. In all these cities, we had performances by these artists. We had henna, we had lac bangle making, we had a food festival. So we had the entire range of Indian cultural activities on display this whole weekend.
Okay. So, Ambassador Chawla, you use this opportunity to showcase India in a way, but are people genuinely interested in yoga? I mean, for them, was this just like a one-day event, just watching some people practice yoga?
Oh, definitely. There is already a considerable interest in yoga here in Hungary. There are several yoga schools here, but then that interest just needs to be sort of further built upon. And that's what we are doing. In fact, yoga classes are being run at our cultural center for the last few months on a regular basis. And they are the most popular classes, let me tell you. People, and these aren't free classes, by the way. People actually pay to attend the yoga classes. So, and that's not only the classes. There are, of course, classes in Bharatnatyam, in Kathak, in Tabla, in Sitar. And people are paying. Ordinary Hungarians actually pay to attend these classes.
Okay. Ambassador, many thanks for joining me on the show. What does this indicate? While we see some divisions in our own country, we see the world embracing yoga. As a yoga practitioner, how do you react to this?
See, as a yoga practitioner, I see it as a dream coming true of not only mine, but of all those who have given their lives to yoga. Because now when the world is accepting yoga with an open heart and open arms, it is something which makes me feel proud. I personally am working since 4 in the morning today, and right now I'm coming back from a performance, a classical dance performance, whether we talk about the culture ministry, whether we talk about the Ayush ministry, everybody is celebrating, and the common people, they are celebrating. In every society, people are uniting together, they are celebrating. So I really don't think there is any conflict on yoga, and where there is yoga, there can never be any conflict.
Okay, politics may happen for other reasons. Yoga may be an excuse for politics, but as Acharya Pratishtha was also pointing out, yoga unites, yoga does not divide. When we talk about yoga celebrations, now yoga extremely important, not just for everyday life in Delhi or Mumbai or anywhere else in the country, especially in high altitude areas. And our image of the day is our brave soldiers practicing yoga in sub-zero temperatures at the Siachen Glacier. Look at these images. This is the army. Yoga is a way of life at the Siachen Glacier to survive in those high altitudes against all odds. We leave you with these images of our soldiers, the brave warriors who guard us at the high altitude Siachen Glacier. They are practicing yoga. We leave you with these images. Rahul Kawal comes up next. Stay with us.